Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What? Uh, 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 What's good? Let's do it. Uh, uh, uh. What's up? Yeah, Tuesday. That's right. Are you ready tonight? That's good. Uh, yeah, yeah. That's word. What? Yeah. That's it's on. What's yeah? What's good, y'all? And it's on. Let's get it popping, man. Pretty Petty Tuesday all up in your area. Listen, before we even get started, I want to let y'all know that my voice, I don't know. I think that my voice is struggling. Like I feel like I'm a little hoarse. I'm not sure where it came from. I haven't been doing any yelling or anything like that. I don't know if my allergies are kicking in and they doing some new different stuff. You know what I mean? Trying to introduce themselves to a new way of life or whatever, a new symptom. But with all that being said, with that disclaimer out there, let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily, the daily go getterism show. We do the daily go getterism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are emotionally do this thing. Taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talk about the BS, the games, and the lies, the sex, and the money. So you know what we're really talking about tonight? In a way, we're talking about a lot of the problems that people feel like they have out here on the dating scene. A lot of the problems that people feel like they are experiencing in relationships. A lot of the problems that people feel like they just have to go through every day. It seems like everybody is always out for something while you just out here looking for peace. You just out here looking for love. You just out here looking for a good situation, something that benefits you, and hopefully you can have it benefit somebody else. But not everybody is on the same page when it comes to that. So we got to go through what we have to go through, man. You know what they say? Trouble don't last long. Trouble don't always last. Well, how do they say it? Trouble don't last forever. Trouble. Anyway, what they're really saying is, you know, there are going to be trials and tribulations that you have to go through in your life, especially when you're trying to establish a relationship. And it's not even always a romantic relationship, but you know how it go when we talk about establishing a romantic relationship. You're trying to get it popping. And sometimes you might feel like you got to go through all of this a maze of emotions and trying to get to the center of how people really feel and what their true intentions are, what their real motivations are before you can finally get to the promised land of having something decent for you and your partner. So that's what we're talking about tonight on the Daily Go Getterism Show. So I'm glad to be here, man. My name is Sun 752. That's Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feel like real men and women should also. This Pretty Petty Tuesday. We are on our way. Kind of, for some of us, is already into Wednesday, but we still look at it like it's Tuesday night, and this is the Tuesday night show. So what's good, y'all? How y'all feeling today? I hope y'all really feeling like real men and real women should. and I hope y'all ready to have this talk tonight. I think it's important. I hear a lot of people complain about problems on the dating scene. And now I must admit that it's mostly women I hear talking about problems with dating, but I have heard men express themselves, express their disappointments and their frustrations when it comes to dating in nowadays. But it's not even just dating, man. I mean, because when you look at the title of this show, it's called what? The games, the lies, the BS, the sex, and the money. When you really think about it, that can come from any like a plethora of sources, because that can come from your family, that can come from friendships, that can come from clubs, that can come from your job, that can come from your neighbors, that can come from anything that you're involved in. It seems like everybody is always out to get something. Nobody wants to just be upfront about their intentions. But is it really like that? And at the same time, y'all know I always have to turn the camera inward and ask, are we the problem? Could it be that we're not giving off the right energy, or our intentions aren't really genuine and rooted in something decent? Because we ain't all good people out here, man. I would love to believe that we are all decent people, and all we are out here to do is just love and find each other and create peace and harmony and just live good and rock out and rock on and do the damn do the damn thing. But I know people that ain't no good. You know people that ain't no good. I know people that really ain't shit, and you know people that really ain't shit. Sometimes people who are decent get mistaken or identified as people who have bad intentions. And that can happen when the communication between two people is just not on the same page. Y'all ain't on the same board, man. This is a different kind of chessboard. So I said, so here we go. All right, let me give a shout out to my people. T Carry, right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Natasha Younger, thanks for coming on through. I hope you're ready for the hunger. And Stacy White, yeah, thanks for coming through for the D and always coming through each and every night to see me. And Marshall Bell, yo, what's going on? Hope you're feeling as well. He said, drink that nice honey and tea, and it should soothe your throat. Well, funny you should bring that up, because I drink tea with honey every single day, every day, every day. And but one thing I've learned when it comes to medical conditions, when it comes to certain kind of symptoms and stuff like that, you're going to get it one way or another. You're going to get it one way or another. See, I have to get out of the thinking that if I'm already drinking this stuff, if I'm already treating myself and I got the shit, how am I going to use it to get rid of the shit? Like, my body know what's going on. Like, yo, this is the same shit you've been giving us every day. How you think we got into this situation? But you can't really look at it that way. You can't look at it on a negative vibe. You got to stay positive. So maybe I can up my intake. Instead of drinking one tea a day, maybe I can go two. You know what I mean? Drinking when it's a little bit hotter instead of waiting until it cools off. Because listen, man. You ever burn your tongue? When you burn your tongue in the beginning of the day, your meals for the rest of the day is going to be trash. You ever do that shit? And you know what else I have a habit of doing? Biting my tongue, man. I be tearing my tongue up while I'm eating. And I be like, please don't bleed tongue. Please don't bleed tongue. I be scared to look. That's it. The blood just be running off that jaw, man. I be like, shit. But that's what it's doing today. That's how it's going down today, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. Let's get it popping. All right, Natasha Younger says, my issue is after 5 minutes of conversation, I'm drained from negative issues in the person's life. I just stopped sharing my energy. Well, it's funny that you bring that up, because when you talk about like just meeting somebody and trying to have a decent conversation with them, and this communication thing is really sending information and receiving, sending and receiving. If a person only wants to send, or only wants to receive, receive, receive. In other words, if they want to send, 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 that means they want to dominate the conversation. They just want to be heard. They just want you to listen to everything that they have to say. They want to vent. They want to let it out. And they never give you a chance to talk. If they only want to receive, 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 that means that they don't want to tell you anything about themselves. They just want to listen to everything that you have to say and calculate how they can play you. And listen, and I hate to say play you, but how easy or hard is it to deal with somebody who doesn't want to reveal anything about themselves? Like like they're being interrogated by the FBI or detective or something like that. Listen, a conversation has to be between two people talking. So you might get into this kind of behavior. You might experience this kind of behavior when you first meet somebody and y'all just not y'all not really on the same page. Maybe they're intimidated by you. And not everybody handles intimidation the same way. Some people might handle intimidation by clamming up, getting quiet, and just sort of letting the person get their shit off. Other people handle intimidation by the fight or flight syndrome. They up out of here. Like, listen, I don't, like this chick is too fly for me. She too fly. She got too much going on. She got money. She got her own shit. She got her shit together. She she got her own house. She take care of her kids. She's an independent woman. Well, independent women need love too. I mean, quiet is kept. All of them women that are keeping the cookie to themselves, they get tired of masturbating every night. I heard them. Complain about it. Many of them say they do it because they, listen, honestly, if you haven't been being pleased with sex in the first place, what difference does it make if you shut it down? I mean, hopefully you've learned how to please yourself. I know women who don't even know how to please themselves. If you don't even know how to pleasure yourself, how you going to show somebody else how to do it? Well, I shouldn't have to show him in the first place. He should already know. All right, now we got problems. We got problems because you're asking somebody to be a mind reader or for somebody to already have experience in dealing with you when they just met you. And that ain't really right. So I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, or I'm not trying to say that that's what you're going through. But these are the kind of things that can happen. These are the ways we can get caught up easily. Natasha says, I spent 30 minutes talking to someone about an ex. They had 4 years. Oh, about an ex they had 4 years ago. I spent another 20 minutes with someone complaining about their job. I can't even get close enough for pleasure. Oh. Yeah, I can understand how that might be a little. That could be a problem. But yeah, so I guess you primed and ready for what we have to talk about tonight. So, all right, let's get dressed. It's time for us to get dressed. Let me put my clothes on over here. Let me put my clothes on. All right. Okay, then put my clothes on. All right. Got struggle bees. Struggle bees activate. Y'all ready? Okay, put your neck out. Put your neck out. Okay, there you go. All right. Looking good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Let's get the pick. Let's see what we're looking like. I think it looks good. What y'all think? What we got? All right, we good? All right, let's go. We good? We struggle. I struggle. You struggle. We struggle together. All right. So the games, the lies, the BS, the sex, and the money. And the reason that I titled it that is because these are a lot of the things that you'll find people are looking for. Or these are a lot of the things that people are willing to deliver to you. Notice I didn't put anything positive in there. I didn't put like the love, the affection, the trust, the honor, you know. And the reason that I didn't put those things in there is because you might have to go through all of these games, all of this BS, all of these lies for somebody, with somebody that's really just trying to either get sex from you or get money from you. It happens. It happens. These are just some of the things we have to deal with some of the times. And it can be frustrating. It can be real frustrating. But there are genuinely decent people out there. There are. But you might have to look at it like, I sort of look at it like playing the lottery or playing a slot machine. Because life is a gamble and love is a gamble. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on through. I appreciate you. Yeah. Life is a gamble. Love is a gamble. And since life is a gamble, you know that when you are trying to win a game that's based on the probabilities. See, I got to put on my statistics hat tonight and start talking about probabilities, extrapolations, things like that. But yeah, when you're dealing with games of chance, you know that you might have to repeat. You might have to repeat what you've done over and over again until it hits. So like when you play the lottery, you keep playing your same number because you know after a certain amount of tries, the likelihood that your number is going to come up is pretty likely. And it'll probably come up the day that you didn't put your numbers in or when you got tired of playing. You know, karma is a crazy thing, but it will come up. It will come up. So you kind of have to look at, I'm not going to say that you have to, but it's probably a good idea to look at your love life that the same way. You might have to go through a bunch of bums, a bunch of ratchet chicks, a bunch of craziness, a bunch of crazy, just ghetto mess before you finally find that diamond in the rough. Or like when you digging for gold or oil, anything of real value takes a while to finally materialize. It takes a while to get there. But once you get there, then you're in good shape. Then you're doing well. Then you can be happy. Then things can start to work out and do what you want them to do. But before then, it's a whole bunch of like, yo, what are we here for? What are we doing? And a lot of people get really discouraged because of this. They do. A lot of people get really discouraged trying to find the right fit for themselves. But isn't looking for looking deeply and consistently for something that's a good fit for you, isn't that worth it? Won't it be worth it in the end? If you can keep from getting so frustrated that you just throw in the towel, then things will probably go your way. It has to after a while. It just has to. It gotta break. But you gotta be there when it's time for it to break. You gotta be there to break it. Will you be there? Will you? What we hear right now. Natasha Younger says, I can't do all that. Well, you might be in that zone. I've known more than enough people like you. You know what? I put up a post yesterday on social media. I'm thinking it was Facebook. And it was funny because the post said a lot of women think that they can cook, clean, and fuck their way through a relationship until they realize that good men require more than just a clean house, some ass, and a full stomach. Now, cookie cutter wise, that's what we think it's all about. You know what I mean? You keep what they say, keep his belly full and his balls empty, and he should be all right. It sounds good. And for a lot of men, they even believe that for themselves. And all of that's really nice until you actually want to talk to your girl, until you actually want to vibe with your woman, until you want to astral plane with your woman, until you really have something important on your mind. And, men be having a lot of shit on their mind. And the only person sometimes that you can talk about your innermost feelings, your fears, your thoughts, your history of concerns is your woman. So if you can't talk to your woman about the fact that, okay, you're scared of the dark, because women find out little secrets about men, just like men find out little secrets about women when they live together or when they spend a whole lot of time together. So some of y'all women out here may have dealt with a man who was scared of the dark. Like maybe instead of turning out all of the lights when it was time to go to bed, he wanted to keep the TV on, acting like he up watching it, but his ass is asleep. As soon as you turn off the TV, he like, yo, what's up? He want to turn the TV back on. He may have not felt comfortable telling you that he was afraid of the dark. His mom might have always gave him a nightlight so he could be all right at bedtime. But see, that's a trust issue. See, if you can't trust your woman to handle that kind of information because you think that she's going to think you a punk, and maybe you honestly feel like a punk because of that. I mean, you might be a bear. You might be a bear and a kangaroo with your hands. Kangaroos, they got hands. Kangaroos like to rumble. You might be a bear or some more. You might be crazy brolic and a kangaroo with the hands. But when them lights go out, you like, the boogeyman. You know what I didn't know? A lot of people are afraid to go to bed or go to sleep with the closet open at night. The closet has to be closed. Man, you're not gonna tell me all of this shit ain't come from slavery. You're not. Because all that boogeyman shit came straight out of slavery. If you try to escape as a slave, there's a boogeyman that will come and capture you at night. And because we couldn't read, we were totally illiterate. We ain't know. We couldn't research that there was no such thing as no goddamn boogeyman. We couldn't even leave the plantation on our own. How we know that shit ain't true? So anyway, these are some of the things that you might have to deal with as a man trying to establish trust with your woman. But I brought up this because another woman had commented on the post. She commented on the post and she said, I'm glad that I decided to center my focus on myself. It must be frustrating as hell trying to please a man or some shit. Hold on, let me tell y'all exactly what it said, because it had me scratching my head like this wasn't even about that. Hold on, my peoples. Okay, wait a minute. We getting close. Okay, here it goes. She said, I'm so glad I became centered on myself. It must be miserable constantly thinking about what men want. And I was like, so what you got out of the post was that You gotta in order to make it with a good man, you gotta be focused or obsessed with trying to figure out what he wants. And honestly, I thought that was a sad statement. And later on the thread, she goes on to defend her stance more. And the thing she said that caught my attention more than anything was she said, um, she said, hell, I wouldn't know if I want them or not because I ain't giving nobody a chance because I'm not centering my life around finding a man. Um, and she said, hold on, was okay. She said, I'm not ready to hear anything regarding anything about a man. I was like, damn. Okay. I had nothing. I had nothing for that. You know, she might now she didn't go full throttle anti-man. I don't need no man or whatever. But this is somebody that I've been friends with on Facebook for years. So I kind of, you see the highs and the lows with certain people, things that they post. You see when they end relationships, out of relationships, sometimes with a man, sometimes with a woman. It's a lot of that shit going on. A lot of people on some old LGBTQ shit. Oh, it's LGBTQIA, some whatever, and one day, and then you get tired of that, then they back straight. So I guess you half straight. So I guess you like crooked. I don't know. I don't know. But I wasn't trying to get in. Look. I wasn't looking for no beef. I was just like, look. I mean, it is what it is. Because that's not what that's not what the post was about. But that's what she got out of it because that's where her concentration was. But she didn't sound like a person that's. She said she was centered on herself. But I don't know about y'all, but I didn't hear any happiness in that. If I'm gonna be by myself, the only way I'm gonna be by myself is if I think that's gonna make me happy. Other than that, what the fuck for? What they say I can do bad by myself? Oh, I'd rather not. Give me a partner to do bad with. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Because one of us is, we both got a brain. One of us is gonna figure it out. And the post said a lot of women think that they can cook, clean, and fuck their way through a relationship. I mean, a lot of people think that way until they face the fact that good men need more. And they do. And you know what? And you know what I thought was interesting? I listened to a lot of old R&B and soul records and shit like that. And I was listening to a song by Bobby Womack. I can't remember the name of the song. But what he was talking about in the song, he kept saying, I'll hold you all night. I'll squeeze you. I'll please you. Holding and squeezing, holding and squeezing. And the woman in the song kept saying, I need more than that. And it was his wife, Bobby Womack. And what was, remember they had a group called Womack and Womack. Well, it was the girl Womack. And he kept saying, I hug. I mean, he wasn't saying nothing else. And it made me think, like, who else used to talk like that? Like Casey and JoJo. They was always talking about, hugging and squeezing. Keith Sweat too. Hugging, squeezing, kissing, loving. Like, okay, all right, that's cool. But, we got to go to work. We got kids. We got bills. We got family. We got emotional history from back in the day, shit that unresolved trauma in our lives and shit like that. Okay, hugging and squeezing, yeah, that's cool. But when his woman kept saying, I need more, I understood what she meant. She did need more. She was probably talking about mental stimulation. Probably. It ain't that hard. You know, she probably has shit on her mind. Curious about things. So she need more than just to be, you can't fuck your problems away. You can't hug them away. I mean, that feel good. But you know how it is. Sometimes you ain't in the mood for no hug. Like, hold on. Listen, I gotta get some shit off my chest. No, it ain't about you. I ain't trying to start no argument. But listen, I got some things on my mind. You go to work every day. Things happen at work. Sometimes you might feel like they targeting you. One of your coworkers is trying to undermine you. Your boss is trying to underpay you, undervalue you, put people ahead of you that aren't on your level, trying to test your resolve. Hugging and squeezing and fucking and sucking, all that, it's not gonna make that go away. But please don't hesitate to hug, squeeze, fucking suck. But anyway, the lies, the games, the BS. The lies, the games, the BS, the sex and the money. The lies, the games, the BS, the sex and the money. At some point, you're probably going to encounter these things and have to deal with them. And it's probably the farthest thing from what you want to do. Let me see. Blood fart. Damn. He says, yo, my brother, love you. Love you back, man. Appreciate that. Let me see. Hold on. Natasha says, I wanna honor a man. I just want him to come with good energy. Well, remember that good energy has to be tailored to you, though. He might have great energy for somebody else. You need it for you. So you got to kind of find a way to be able to plug and play. TK Wright says, were other people questioning her about her original comment? Yeah, and she wasn't coming at him angrily, but she was kind of shooting him down like bow, bow, bow. Like I wrote what I wrote. I ain't really want to get into that shit because my whole feelings on what she was saying was, I'm thinking like, well, listen, if you're not willing to find out what somebody else wants, if you're not willing to compromise, give a little in order to get a little, and if you're not concerned about what the person that you want to be with wants, needs, likes, yeah, you need it. I don't even know if you need to be by yourself because there's probably something really negative going on inside of you emotionally, and being by yourself ain't gonna fix it. It ain't. And come on, man, we human beings. We weren't meant to be alone. We alone when we have to be alone, but we weren't meant to be that way. It's not the way it goes. Shirley Shore says, we're from North. We were ready to boogie. We're ready for the boogeyman. We had guns, swords, knives, karate, and boxing moves to try out. And not in the slavery days, we ain't had none of that shit. But I'm glad we have some of it now. Break out the brass knuckles. TK Wright says, why can't being by yourself be happy? I mean, it can. But if being by yourself is your response to frustration, see, most people who are by themselves or try to declare themselves to be by themselves are normally doing that in response to a negative breakup or a negative experience in dating or trying to establish a relationship. And that's why being by yourself ain't going to make you happy. Shit. You tried being by yourself before you got with somebody. And you're probably mad at them because they didn't make you happy. Quote unquote. But, the way she kept saying, I'm not worried about no man. It made me wonder, like, well, she did say she centered on herself. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't giving me it wasn't giving me Butchie vibes. I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't. Blood Fart says, I ain't got no brain, but you spitting bars. Yo, straight facts. I appreciate that. TK right says, I have that song in rotation because of the music and lyrics. Okay. Blood Fart says, the sex is just the beginning of intimacy. Word. A lot of people don't know that. Emily, what's going on? Thanks for coming through. Millie Mill, I didn't know you was here. What's going on, Millie Mill? Coming through. That's my joint right there. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. And Blood Fart says, hi, Carrie. Everyone deserves to be properly valued and cared for in detail sufficiently. There's more available in every partner that we disregard. It's not them, it's us. It's up to you. Sometimes that can be true. Now, you can, run into some really negative situations and some people that make you feel like maybe I should sit down for a while. But we also have to learn to put certain things into proper perspective. If it's them, it's them. Fine, we gotta try and find somebody else. But I understand that sometimes the load gets heavy. The load gets really heavy, and we don't really want to carry that. You can get tired of the BS. You can get tired of the games. And we probably need to have a little conversation about what we consider BS and games to be. So let's do that right about now. What do y'all consider when somebody is playing games, running game, or when you have to deal with the BS when it comes to the opposite sex or whatever? What do y'all consider that to be? Can y'all just put some examples in the chat? Maybe we could talk about that for a minute, because my BS might not be your BS. My games might not be your games. I might look at the games as a challenge of two people who are attracted to each other, trying to find what's good for and with each other and themselves. Your definition of game might be somebody that just doesn't seem to be honest, somebody that seems to be shady, dishonest, deceptive, secretive in a negative way. So I just want to, can y'all help me out with that? Blood Fart says, you need to take initiative if you want more. Your partner can be that special one the whole time. Try it out. That sounds positive. Stacy White says, I have to step with the closest door. I have to sleep with the closet door closed and sometimes the TV on. But you're not alone. With me, I want the room totally dark. Trust me. If the boogeyman comes, he'll be sorry. He'll be really, really sorry. All right. Stacy says, my weapon is beside my bed. It's a good place for it. TK Wright says, you missed the comment. The name of the song is Baby, I'm Scared of You. Is that the name of the song? Not sure. I'd be lying if I said that I remember. It's not that, but Baby, I'm Scared of You is not ringing a bell. But it could be. It could be. Millie Mill says, my arthritis slowed me down. Don't get out as much as I used to, but I still love me some men and still would like to have a mate. Sometimes we concentrate so much on the negative experiences that we're having that we conveniently forget about any of the positive experiences. And that's not to say that everybody has positive experiences. Some people just really, get a raw deal. But shit, there has to be something that you like about somebody. I mean, there was a mutual attraction at some point, wasn't there? Unless you just let everybody choose you and you choose nothing. Okay, Blood Fart says, it can go the other way as well, and you will hit a wall. The good part is then you will know it's time to find a new partner that wants to value your time as you value your own. That's good shit. Naturalista Rat. What's good? Naturalista rap. Let's see. She says liars. Bloodfrost says I'm about goals. You set your goals. That's what's up. Millie Mill says lies are BS. Can't stand a liar, especially about unnecessary stuff. Oh, so you mean like the type of man that'll come through and just start lying off gate? A lot of men do that because they're trying to read what a woman wants. You know, I've seen men lie about lie about where they live, lie about how much they make, lie about the car that they drive. And the crazy part about this shit is they were the only ones that brought this up in conversation. It wasn't like somebody asked them. Really. Now, I can't speak for other men, but I've never in my life dealt with a woman who asked me up front how much money I make, what I drive, or any of that kind of shit. I don't know why, but certain people give off a certain energy anyway. It is what it is. So when I think about somebody running game, I kind of think about that kind of stuff. Trying to portray themselves as being something that they're not. All my Philly peoples can relate to this. I remember when I was younger and this girl told me that she lived in Mount Airy and she really lived in Somerville. I couldn't figure it. I was like, you don't think I know the difference? She told me she lived in Mount Airy. She told me what street she lived on. I was like, the Mount Airy border is Washington Lane. And depending on what part of Washington Lane you're on, like if you're on the west side of Washington Lane, they don't even consider that to be Mount Airy. Even when they live on the other side. Like, I guess on that side, we ain't as pressed about or impressed with, the fact that we lived in Mount Airy. But I get she needed to live in Mount Airy. She needed to live in Mount Airy. Understand what I'm saying? She lived on Horder Street. No, she didn't. Fuck am I talking? She lived. All right, you come down Stenton Ave, past King. Now King, the high school Martin Luther King is before Washington Lane. She lived before Martin Luther King. So let's see, coming down Stenton Ave. Where the fuck she live? Scratch Horder Street, because Horder Street is definitely in Mount Airy. You all the way in. She lived on, what was that shit? What's that shit? Not Shelton Ave, but right where Shelton, you know how, if you know the area, Shelton Ave goes this way, and then the other street goes. Anyway, she ain't living on Mount Airy. How about that? And I'm like, now this is when I was a young boy. This is when I was a young boy, like 18, 19 years old. Matter of fact, 18. I just got out of high school. So I was like, I ain't even clown her, but I realized where she was coming from. Because if you telling me that you live in Mount Airy, you live in Somerville, like you on, and she was on this side, she was on the west side of Stenton Avenue. So she wasn't in West Oak Lane either. Straightville. She lived in the Ville. So I'm like, all right, man, whatever. But she needed to live in Mount Airy. Status symbol. And that is game. People lying about how much they make, lying about their status at work. Tell people that they a supervisor or they a manager or they are a senior consultant or some shit like that. And they punch a clock. In management, you don't punch no clock, you want salary. What we doing? Like you a manager, you make overtime. I imagine there are some management positions created to still pay an hourly wage, but you ain't no senior nothing. Not making an hourly wage. And there's nothing wrong with making an hourly wage. Shit, I wish I could get some overtime. But the bottom line is, some people will tell you that they are in a different position that they're in because they're uncomfortable with where they are. So instead of just working to get where they say that they are already, they rather just kick it to you. And then later on, I always wonder, like, what happens later on when you really get to know that person, and then they find out what you really do and where you really are. Like, but well, by that time it won't really matter. But you got to kick some game. Oh, you got to kick a little game. I'm like, okay, well, that is game to me, and that's kind of like BS too. What up, Infinite Discernment? Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. Stacy, hold on. All right. Okay. Yep. Yeah, like that. Oh, Millie Mill says lies for me, lies for no reason. Stacy says, I know when somebody want to game you. Just know I don't know how to put it in words. Okay. TK Wright says that's sad that she felt like she had to do that. To her credit, she was young. She was young. She was just a baby. I was 18. She was like a senior. So she was like 17. But I was like, she invited me to a party at her crib. I wasn't going to no party in Mount Airy. I knew I was. I wasn't driving. You know what I mean? I was a little skinny nigga with a high top fade, running around here. You know what I mean? With a guest set, thinking he fly. That's what I was. Couldn't tell me shit, but I knew I wasn't going to Mount Airy. I knew. That's what I knew. I'm going down the street from King, and it ain't West Oak Lane because it ain't across the street. In Philly, they got certain streets that cut off shit. Staten Avenue cuts off West Oak Lane from Germantown. Somerville is in Germantown. That's it. The phone numbers change when you get across that street. Cheltenham Avenue. One side is Cheltenham Township. The other side is West Oak Lane. That's it. Or if you go further up, one side, Cheltenham Township. The other side, Mount Airy. That's how it go. That's how it go. One street. The yellow line in the middle of the street changes those phone numbers, that exchange in them phone numbers from one neighborhood to another neighborhood. And that's what Stenton Ave does. The people across the street on Stenton Ave have a different exchange than the people on the other side of the street. That's what it is. Consequently, and incidentally, even on my street, the people on the other side of the street are on a different electrical transformer than we are. So on this side of the street, we have a blowout, and they got TV across the street. I'm looking across the street, and they lights is on. Everybody on my side of the street, we in the darkest shit. We hear this big bang, like boom. I don't know if you ever have had the transformer blow out in the wintertime. I mean, in the summertime, it'd be hot as shit, from all those air conditioners blow up. Anyway, shit crazy. All right. Yeah, but she She was a young John, you know what I mean? She needed to live in Mount Airy. I wonder if she ever made it to Mount Airy. I'll bet you that eventually she moved down to Georgia and told people she lived in Atlanta. No, she probably told people she lived in Buckhead and she lived in College Park. You said you lived in Buckhead. I do live in Buckhead. The Decatur version. Anyway, all right. Stacey says, okay, Infinite says thinking. Stacey says, my prayer to the Lord is don't let the DICK be the death of me. Death of me, my weakness. Your weakness. Wait. Am I reading this right? Yeah. Well, I'll be goddamn, son. Millie Mill says, yeah, some folk think living in Mount Airy means you're classy. A lot of people think that shit. And they might be right if they live on the west side. That shit on the east side, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you gotta have a good job. Ain't no projects over there. But it ain't the same as that west side. It's a big difference. You get on the west side of Germantown Avenue, them property values been high. On the east side, you know what I mean? You can work out a little something. You know, that's not, the east side is not historic. On the west side, all them houses, those houses are all made of brick and castle stone. Anyway. Stacey says, I hope you feeling better. Your voice cleared up. I don't know, man. My shit. I don't know. Bloodfart says the NRA got laws passed in 67 and 68 to restrict guns specifically from the Black Panthers. Yep. Then the NRA campaigned for the Second Amendment because they became afraid to lose their rights. Facts. He says, I'm white, but the double standards are bullshit. The biased individuals screwed us all when they realized that they are subject to what they ask just for the next man, just like the next man. That's all true. All right, TK right says, how does money fit into the lies, sex, and BS? Okay, well, think about it. If you getting your shine on, somebody might be trying to get money from you. If you just a cutie, somebody might be trying to get sex from you. Plenty of people will rub your feet, your back, even offer to give you an enema for a couple of dollars. You know, pretend to like you, pretend to love you, all for a couple of dollars, just for a little bit of money. So yeah, the money, the sex and the money. How many men out here will say anything? I mean, y'all women, y'all know what I'm talking about, probably way more than I do. How many times have you dealt with a dude you might have been willing to give up the ass in the first place? But the way he approached it, he was so thirsty, he was so hungry, he was like, yo, either you already ate or you eat too much. Something ain't right. And plenty of women out here, they think, I mean, listen, if you listen to the rap lyrics out here and a lot of the things that are going on in the media, you think it's okay to shit on somebody, you know, for a couple of dollars. Whatever you got to do to get some money. If I have to fuck them, suck them, and all that kind of stuff to get a couple of dollars, I'll do it. But if I can get around it, if I can just make the nigga feel good or feel like he was going to get something, I'll do that too. So that's how the sex and the money fit into this whole thing. or factor into this whole thing. Yeah, we can never leave the sex and the money out. Natasha says, hold on. Games, a guy told me he was single. He's just living in the same house as his ex because his youngest child was 10 months old, as if my name was Boo Boo the Fool. And you know what? I have known people who were actually in that situation. The thing is, I wouldn't believe them either. I have known people who have claimed to be in that situation, and they really just didn't have enough money to be able to live separately yet, so they were pretty much playing house. But just like you said, with a child, for whatever reason, they weren't ready to take either name off of the lease or be able to afford it on their own. It don't work for me, because I'm like, shit, I've known people who were married, talking about they divorced or they in the midst of a divorce, but they still living in the same house. I'm like, you sure you ready to be dating, shorty? Y'all sleep in the same bed? No. Just a little hum before the no. No. I'm like, so that means yes? I mean, no. Like, you got to listen to that little rumble before the no. Because it should be, you should already be prepared for that question to come. No. No, we don't. Mm-mm. But it was like, no. I'm like, it's that little, that short little 1 second, half a second. No. You're lying. Enter the Star Gamer. What's good? Thanks for coming through. Natasha says, or guys can be giving you money too, to so-called help you just to snag you, all the while they're in a whole marriage. Ooh, that part. Jose Gonzo says, I put my new white sources on and only take them off when they're rustic brown. I got nothing, Jose. No way, Jose. I got nothing. Bloodfart says, nobody cares if they're good for you. They want to have you if you make their day better. There's a lot of levels in life. That's true. So the things that some people will go to, the lengths that they'll go to in order to try to establish a relationship, and all the while, here you are trying to find a good fit, and it's eluding you. It's eluding you. And some people get really, really super frustrated because of this shit, and they just tap out like, I'm good. Like you was being choked out in UFC. I'm good. You ain't killing me in front of this camera. No, you're not. No, you're not. Tap out. And it can make you bitter. Forget about the frustration part. It can make you bitter. It can make you angry. It can make you discouraged. How many of y'all have been discouraged from the dating scene, or from, how many of y'all have suspended your search for a good mate? How about that? You have suspended your search. And by the way, can y'all read what the sign says? Can y'all read what my new sign says? Because the way the letters are sort of like reflective, and I'm wondering if they're reflective to the point where you can't see what it says. Y'all say no? All right. It says The hood is our health. That's what it says. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a marker and I'm gonna color the letters. That way it'll pop out. And I'll probably make them white. That way you'll definitely be able to see them. But that's what it says. The hood is our health. Years ago, when I started the Daily Go-Getterism and Urban Therapy with Son, I said our motto is the hood is our health. In other words, we're healthy people, or we're striving to be healthy people, but we're all from the hood. And even in our health regimen, there's always some hood in it. So, like our workouts might not be clean. They might not be prestigious. They might not be they might not have all the bells and whistles, so our health might still have some grittiness in it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that we got rats and roaches in our health, but our health is fortified with where we come from, what we know, and basically the blood, sweat, and tears of the struggle of ourselves and our people. So that's what it says. The hood is our health. So the next time y'all see this sign, I'm going to make the letters be able to pop out more so you can really see what it says. So, yeah, because when I'm looking at it, it almost looks like each of the letters is like a different color. So if I bring it forward, oh, hold on. You can probably see it a little bit better that way. Wait. The hood is our health. I'm going to get it. This is a test run. You know what I mean? I was like, look, I'm a wow in the night. I got the new sign. I got the new chair. It's a red and black thing. Look. Even my screw gun is red and black. I'm just like a little kid. Like, look, I got new stuff. Fuck it. Tell with it. All right. Okay, you said that it needs to be bigger. The words need to be bigger. Okay. All right. Stacy says, some people do not have no respect when you're dating someone. That could be very discouraging. I can see that. And Bluffar says, exactly, Natasha. Things get rough and you see what you have in a partner. Nurses cried seeing me there for my wife with leukemia when I was 27 over 15 years ago. Most partners run away, apparently. We actually did a show on that. Millie Mill says, no, I have not suspended my search. I'm still a believer in love, arthritis and all. As a matter of fact, we're gonna I'm a believer, arthritis and all. I'm a believer, arthritis and all. I'm a believer, arthritis and all. No matter what happens to me physically, I'm still all in, y'all. Arthritis and all. I'm a believer, arthritis and all. I'm a believer, arthritis and all. No matter what happens to me physically, I'm all in, y'all. I'm a believer in all that love. I gotta do something, push it and shove it, whatever I gotta do. I'm gonna get me some loving, cause that's the way it's promised from the Lord above it. No, that one day it's gonna pop and I won't suspend my search. No, I won't stop until the ball drops just like New Year's. I'm be looking for my shit with the new gears. No fears. I'm still all in, yeah, I'm still doing this shit, it's all in. Right into my lap, right into my hands, we gonna do this shit whether I'm poor or got bands. I'm a believer, arthritis and all, I'm a believer, arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, no matter what happens to me physically, I'm still all in y'all. I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all. That shit is inspirational. I'm feeling you, Mill. I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, no matter what happens to me physically, I'm all in, y'all. I'm a believer. My bones are creaky, joints are crazy. And I speak with a little hoarse voice, but I'm gonna make love my first choice. And no matter what happens to the day I die, I'm gonna still get off my ass and try. Yo, take my hand, but don't squeeze it hard. I told you got the arthritis, y'all. Believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, I'm a believer. Arthritis and all, no matter what happens to me physically, I'm all in, y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Millie Mill. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Never give it up. Never give up. Yeah. That's what it says. An OG ain't doing nothing but standing firm no matter what. I learned that the realest part of being a man through gang activity as a kid, as silly as that is. Hey, you got to get knowledge from wherever you get it, wherever you have to get it. Natasha says, blood fought, same with me next to my husband until he lost the battle. Word. Not to least the rap says, still a no. That's what's up. Blood fought says, friends are real. Friends that are real always get neck deep to stand up for their partners. Quitting when things get hard, just I don't know. You can call it what you want. Word. Naturally, the rest says he's twerking at work. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a believer. That shit was dope. But yeah, I mean, but it's serious shit. You know, I get sick of hearing people online talking about, yeah, the dating scene is crazy. The dating pool is like a cesspool. It's disgusting. I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm a firm believer that the better you get within, the better things start to happen on the outside. When you start reading different things, experiencing different things, talking to different people, going to different places, your spirit changes and your energy changes. And the things that you attract and distract start to change too. But a lot of people think, I'm already a good person. All I got to do is keep doing what I got to do or keep doing what I'm doing. Part of you is right. Another part of you is wrong. Part of you is right. Another part of you is wrong. You got to keep trying, got to keep pushing, got to keep finding a way to sift through all of the craziness. It's like reading a book that's halfway boring, halfway exciting. It has like little leaps and bounds. Yeah, it won't take you all the way up, but it has like just enough to keep you interested. Just enough to keep you interested. Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need. Natasha says, honestly, when I'm ready, I'm quite sure it will come easy for me. I believe that. It should be believable. TK Wright says, I don't have the dating issues that most people have. And neither do I. But I'm starting to understand. Kinda. In a way. Sorta. Kinda, sorta, in a way. Kinda, in a way, sorta. I mean, the way people be talking about what they see out here, what they experience, they make it sound really nightmarish. And maybe for them it is. Sometimes when they explain it to me, I'm like, oh, I get it. He's just a punk. Well. Yeah. Yeah. It's your perspective sometimes. your perspective and your expectations. Sometimes people expect more than what can be delivered realistically, and sometimes they expect more than I don't want to say what they deserve, because I don't honestly feel like I have the right to tell somebody what they deserve or not. Mostly because I've gotten things that people didn't think I deserved. I don't give a fuck. I got it. You get yours. I got mine. You get yours. And but sometimes you can have expectations that just aren't realistic, regardless of where they may or what they may be rooted in. You just don't have realistic expectations. You know, I don't know. I don't know if it's just this social media thing, because you see and hear so many things that is just outright ridiculous. Just outright ridiculous. I mean, I ain't, I'm not submitting. I don't like that word. I don't have to do what nobody tell me to do. I don't have to be concerned about what nobody else want. And they should already know we grown. Why should we have to blah 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 diggy diggy dang diggy dang it dang it dang dig. There's a lot out here. There's a lot out here. There's a lot going on. But the lies, the games, the BS, the sex, the money. Will it all be worth it in the end? It should be. It should all be worth it when the curtain comes down. It should all be like, well, yeah, all right. So we got this thing. We got it. Everything is all right. And for plenty of us, it'll be that way. For others, it might be a delay on it. You might have to wait a little bit longer. That griddle might have to get a little bit hotter. That Jiffy Pop, might not be ready to pop. Like it's supposed to bust out the pan. They bust out the pan, it ain't ready. It ain't hot enough. Keep it on the fire. Keep it on the fire. Mildred says, I think so many of them stayed in bad situations way too long, so they got tainted. That's definitely a possibility. But I also know a lot of people who stayed in situations for a long time, and then I hear them say things like, because it didn't work out in the end, like maybe they didn't get married or maybe they got divorced, and then they want to say that they wasted their lives, or everything was just a waste of time. It was just a big waste of time. 5 years of my life, it was just a waste of time. Like, me being a smart ass, I'm asking questions like, what year did it start being a waste of time? Did you know it? Or did it not become a waste of time until the whole 5th year? Because if it was a waste of time in the first year, did you waste your time in year 2, 3, 4, and 5? I'm just curious. Because I don't look at anything that I've experienced as a waste of time, even if it was a big disappointment, even if there was the whole bait and switch thing. Yeah, yeah, Mil. You hear people say that shit all the time. How many times have I heard women say, yo, we was together for 7 years, just a big waste of time? And I'm like, because it didn't result in a marriage or because y'all got divorced? I mean, which year would you identify as the waste of time kicking in? And sometimes I just feel like people want you to adhere to this bullshit. They just want you to listen. They just want you to listen to this madness. And so we do. They want you to listen to this old craziness. And what are you supposed to do with it? What are you supposed to do with this? But what year did it start being a waste of time? What year did you identify it? Because if you waited until the final year to declare it a waste of time, then I don't think it was. Somewhere along the line, y'all had some fun, went out on some dates. I don't know. Went to an amusement park, a museum, a cabaret. Y'all had to have enjoyed each other somewhere along the line, because in year 2, 3, and 4, you weren't screaming waste of time. And how about this? Shout out to all of the people who have just gotten out of a bad relationship and are more than willing to get right back into that bad relationship if that person would just promise to do better. Like, this is a piece of shit, but it's like, yeah, but this is my piece of shit. Mine. So shout out to those people, because sometimes that's it's like the devil you know. It's hard to fight the devil you know. Natasha says, at moments I'm curious, so I stick to the tip of my baby. I stick to the tip of my baby toe. Oh, I stick the tip of my baby toe in the shallow part of the dating water and find that I'm not ready for anything yet. Okay. Millie Mill says, right. What about the fun times? Were they a waste of time? Waste too? All good questions. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I hear some outlandish shit. Yeah, I've heard some outlandish shit. I've known some women to call up their ex just to tell him that, yeah, you never made me come. And I said, you did what? Man, I thought he should know. You think, well, like, did you tell him that while y'all were in a relationship? No. I used to fake it all the time. I'm like, so wait, let me get this straight. While you were in the relationship, you put up with subpar sexual performance. But when you get out of the relationship, wait, not only did you put up with subpar sexual performance, but you actually validated it and reinforced it by pretending that you were having a great time. But at the end of the relationship, you wanted to be known that there will be no more orgasm. I'm sorry. There'll be no more orgasm faking. It was all a ruse. I did it all for you, and I'm not doing this for you anymore. Yeah, I know we're broken up, and sex is not an issue. And I know you moved on, and I know I said that I moved on, but you need to know. I've even heard, and I'm not bullshitting, I've even heard some of them say that their therapist told them to get that off of their chest. And I'm like, all right, let me get this straight. Your therapist told you to go and tell your ex that he sucked in bed or that he never made you come. I mean, she didn't say to do it in that way, but she said that I should finally come clean about the way I feel. And that's what you got out of that? Because I'm thinking, I hope your nigga was not an asshole. Because if he was, he would probably say something like, well, You say I never made you come, but that fake bitch that I was hitting all them years said I was the man. So until she comes and tells me that she was lying, I ain't believing it. Cause you ain't her. I need her, the fake one, not you. You call yourself real. I think you're fake, but not as fake as the one I used to like. The one I had biting on the sheets. So I guess you just peed all over the bed. That was pee. Yeah, I suspected. All right. We're about to get on a body here, man. We're about to go ahead and get on a body here, man. You know, listen. I figured we would have a little talk tonight. Pretty petty Tuesday. You know, the lies, the games, the BS, the sex, and the money. Imagine, you know, for the men and women who have been gamed for their money, who have been lied to, and pretended to have been loved over a couple of dollars. I want to see a man come to his woman and be like, yo, all that money I gave you, that shit was counterfeit. You lucky you ain't get caught. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But at the same time, man, I know what it's like to feel like you want somebody to hurt as much as you're hurting. But just that concept right there kind of lets me know that there's something there. If you need somebody to hurt like you're hurting, you have to acknowledge the fact that you're hurting, and you acknowledge the fact, and you probably have to acknowledge the fact that y'all still united in some kind of way in your mind. Let's do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 4th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. My girl, Elena Vanessa, happy birthday to you. Go get her, Elena Vanessa, happy birthday to you. And also, Thera Martin, turning 66 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Aaron Wilson, turning 55 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Philly Knockout, turning 51 years old today. And Christine Davis, turning 52 years old today. And Yannick Green, turning 37 years old today. And my girl Nina Raw, turning 44 years old today. And former NBA player Tim Perry, happy birthday to you. Last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious June 4th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing, and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. The lies, the games, the lies, the games, and the money and the sex and the the lies and the games and the BS, the games, the money and the sex and well, these are the things that we have to go through in our lives. And whether you're talking about dating, whether you're talking about being married, being engaged, hanging out with your friends, dealing with neighbors, dealing with strangers, dealing with fundraisers, dealing with all kinds of stuff. Things are not always going to go the way that you want them to go, even when you plan them. What they say, the best laid plans often go awry. Well, it can happen, but you can't always base your experience on the results because the results are the very end. Remember, there was a whole ride you took to get here. You took a whole ride to get wherever you were. So if you drive across country from New York all the way to California, you're going to tell me that the only thing you remember is the Hollywood sign and the Empire State Building? Come on, man. There was a whole lot going on in between there. In between. And you have to sometimes, enjoy the journey. Of course, but with that ride from coast to coast, there may have been times that people tried to lie to you, cheat you, steal from you, straight rob you at gunpoint. There may have been flat tires and overheating radiators and bad motel stays and facilities that weren't up to par. Maybe somebody had to wire you some money at some point, but you had an experience that you won't forget. However long it took to get from the East Coast to the West Coast, or from the West Coast to the East Coast, you saw a whole lot develop during that time. And those are the things that build on your wisdom and your experience, and those are the things that you can teach to somebody else and capitalize on the next time you see them for yourself. And you can always be better. I think that that's a good way to look at it. I'm sure that there are other ways to look at it as well. But we all gonna make it. One way or another, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you one way or another. Tomorrow, my voice gonna be back right. I promise, I guarantee. And if it don't, we'll just rock out like this. Yo, man, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night with another Daily Go Getimism show, 1 a.m. for the rest of the week, 1 a.m. So make sure y'all come through, and we're going to have something fly for y'all tomorrow. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getimism show. So let's take our clothes off. Okay, let me remove all of these garments, this restrictive wear. Yo, y'all have a good night. No more problems. Go to bed. Peace, y'all.